Hello, nerds of the internet. We have returned. And once again, thank you everyone for helping us finally get to affiliate. I'm not sure if it took us a long time or what. Like, I don't really know how to gauge any of this. But I'm very happy we are finally here because ironically this means we get to use the free channel point system. As it stands, I have no financial goals with this channel. So if anyone subscribes or gives us bits, I might die of shock on stream. But feel free to accrue as many channel points as you can, and then use those to buy things in our game for technically free, but it's mostly time spent with your eyeballs. It's an interesting system. You know, we could bring in stuff with bits later, but again, I have no idea what to do with stream money, so if that changes, we'll let you know. And being affiliate, I have added a whole bunch of widgets to our stream page, or to our stream background overlay thingy, and I have no idea if they're gonna work, so yay. But yes, I'm the GM, Ms. Chrysilla, and I think I know what I'm doing. I'm not entirely sure. Well, I'll just have to find out together. And this is Exit to Eden, which is ostensibly, in a nutshell, New World of Darkness, or Chronicles of Darkness, in a far-flung future where humanity has taken over the stars, but not the stars around Earth, because that burnt up or something. And now we're, you know, in a new galaxy with new problems. Also, it's the world of darkness, but there is no more veil, so while in this future society there's no more racism, homophobia, sexism, etc., there is still a metric ton of classism, and everyone who can hates the Supernats, except for an Idun System, because here it is nice. But yeah, 6,000 years in Earth's future, and humanity took its bullshit with them.
A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
And if anyone can't see the channel point options, please tell me in chat, because I'm watching that. But you can, I guess, highlight your message if you want. There are some other things I removed, because it's like, well, we don't use that, so what would the point be? You can buy +1s to people's roles, either for the GM, which is me, or for the players who all have a pool that they share, and I will do my best to track both. We'll see how that goes. I have done my best to maximize channel point accruement for viewers, so we may or may not have anyone buying stuff this game. If somehow the message that you bought something doesn't get to me, just yell at me in chat and I'll see it eventually. And for 800 channel points is the custom NPC drop, where you introduce an NPC to this situation, and I will do my best to do something. If it is breaking too many copyrights or doesn't quite fit in the NWoD system, I will do my best to edit it into something that captures the spirit of the donation or purchase, but actually fits. So if someone asks, you know, I want, you know, Jar Jar Binks to show up and cause havoc, then probably they're a very aquatic beast changeling with an annoying accent. That I'm not sure whether or not it's racist for me to do that accent.
The question is, would they have a secret dark side and be a Sith Lord or something?
That's for Kristen and for you to find out.
I'm terrified.
Lol.
This, of course, requires that somebody actually, you know, buys Jar Jar Binks to go in the game, so.
But yeah, have fun with your channel points. And again, I can't stop you from giving us actual money, but why?
Yeah.
Why?
Why bother?
You don't
It's
need
not...
it? You might get it by accident. I don't know. There's literally no benefit that I am aware of for you being a subscriber to this channel. We do not even have emotes yet. We could buy custom emotes from someone with money. Yeah. Alright. These are all things we would totally discuss with our fans if we had a Discord for our fans. Whoops. Yeah. Things to think about while I'm on vacation. Anyway, that's me. I'm the GM. I have no idea or clue what I'm doing right now. So now let's get to our players, who are a little apprehensive about tonight's game for some reason, and I guess we'll find out why. Let's go clockwise. So, Trix, who are you playing tonight?
I am playing Presley tonight, who I believe is babysitting a group of people today, or was babysitting.
just some rugby hooligans.
Awesome.
Rugby wolf bloods.
Awesome.
We were resourcing some humans.
Oh, and I should mention, the reason all these characters are a party in the World of Darkness is that they all work for a tourist agency in Idun System, which is a front for an underground railroad. So yeah, when the megacorp that likes selling synthetic humans to other humans comes rolling in, you know, the Underground Railroad isn't that happy to see them.
I should note for the record that by synthetic humans, we mean just regular people but grown in a tube. That's it. That's the only thing synthetic about them.
Yeah, pretty much. And they only have a 50-year lifespan. Asterisk. The asterisk
Usually.
being... asterisk being, I would like a greater template now. Which might be too jargony. Anyway. So yeah, Mark, who are you playing tonight?
I'm Mark. I'll be playing Dawn the Wolfblood. And Trixie has been keeping track of all my cousins in the bar. That's, while I've been off hunting for larger prey. I'm sure they'll be very disappointed to hear what I was doing without them.
Again, they are lesser templates. Therefore, I won't do it to Dune, but regular human goes into a Thurzaz might come out a bit different.
True.
So, but yeah, some of the Wolfbloods in town are definitely jealous that, Dune get to fuck with Thurzaz.
Hunting big prey. Yeah, gotta.
Yeeg.
Udum Datakas.
Udum Datakas. Zardoz, who are you playing tonight?
I am continuing the misadventures of Holiday, the lawyer who's been traveling with these people.
Yeah,
Tonight I'm going to pretend I'm a piano player. It's going to be awesome.
Or is he a piano player pretending he is a lawyer?
I can be both.
Welcome to Changeling the Lost. Yeah, how is Holiday doing now that it's like this firm he wanted to get involved in led him directly to a Thurzaz?
We're reconsidering options.
But think of the class action lawsuit if you can figure out who to sue.
I know, that's sort of why I'm taking notes.
And yes, speaking of notes, Dracus, who are you playing tonight?
Hi, I'm Dracus. I'm playing Klaus. I'm the resident asshole mage slash drug dealer slash party healer. And yeah. There was a lot the last couple weeks. And I'm pretty sure that Klaus was probably pretty high for most of it.
So, alright. So yeah, I've been throwing around the word Thurzaz. That is an in-setting term for what is more commonly called in Changeling the Lost, the True Fae. And one, spoilers if you want to go back and watch the rest of this subplot, which I think this is episode number 6 of it. Also our 20th episode overall, so yay, go team! We've been here for 20 episodes! Woohoo! Yeah. So there was a True Fae, disguised as a trendy video game that looked very mysteriously a lot like Animal Crossing.
In VR.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, but y'all beat the shit out of it in as well as you can beat the shit out of a VR simulation where all of the equipment making the VR simulation is people, i.e. other changelings.
To be fair, the people who were making up the simulation were on our side.
Well, at least some of them were.
Yeah.
You have not really gotten a chance to chat with them directly because the one of the things about Idun City is that it is teeming with hundreds of thousands, possibly, of changelings. So not only is mental health free and effective, the local courts, of which all of them are here. The setting has its own, the cosmic courts, but there's also the seasonal, the diurnal, the directional. Everyone is here because it's a city of 80 million people. What the fuck? And yeah. So the courts have their own way of like, oh, we have an influx of 20 changelings. No problem. We'll send in the vans. We'll take them to the
farming district.
The farming. Well, you know, a mental health center / halfway house in that sector because that's where all of those big warehouses were that are now, you know, converted into trendy industrial urban housing and office space.
Yeah. But
It's just a terribly unfortunate name.
Yeah, for just making fun of the fact that the changelings who spent who knows how long as farming equipment might not like the name, you know?
Oh, they weren't farming equipment. They were brain scanners, and one of them was literally the firewall.
It's farming equipment. I don't know what you're talking about.
That was the other stage of the game that none of you made it to, but, you know... Y'all
I think I'm relieved.
Yeah.
And,
Not going in there without a much bigger pack.
And the dev, a changeling beast known as Marcus Banyep, has been taken into custody. And currently, Patricio is just off doing computery Vontrue things because, well, he's suddenly in charge of a whole bunch of emergency services and security people and hashtag Vontrue life. And,
loves to be in charge.
Yeah. And we will chat with Josh about what Petruchio was up to when he's back next week. Because right now, today he has another engagement, so Petruchio is not with you. But yeah, so the convention has Hackercon has closed for the day, or the Expanse Tech Conference, affectionately known as Hackercon, because the hacktivists are using big corporate money to fund their hacktivism training endeavors, and that's fun. That's cyberpunk when it's good. But yeah, there are a lot of I mean, on one hand, so the dealers are somewhat less crabby if anyone's checking the social media, because like there was a goddamn true fay at the con. It's really the megacorps that are whining, but we paid all this money for all these spaces in the exhibition hall, and now we've lost 2 days of the convention. That's not fair. Whereas the vendors tend to be independent, like normal people, or like non-corporate entities, even if they incorporate for their own business taxes needs. And they're like, no, I mean, it sucks, but, you know, I'm also either a changeling already or not a changeling going to be, and, you know, maybe if the true face show up to your con, maybe you should close it down halfway through. Like, I lose some money, but at least, I don't get traumatized by an interdimensional alien?
Seems a fair trade-off.
I like not being eaten alive, thanks. Yeah, this is...
Because, you know, while to your best efforts, this thing hasn't gotten picked up by the media en masse in system, people are starting to talk. It's been a few hours. A whole bunch of people were evacuated out of the bathroom of a small coffee shop because that's where the hedge gate kicked you out. Welcome to the city.
I'd like to say that is not my problem.
But yeah, the word is starting to get around that, and it's not, no one's really been able to verify it, because the emergency services are still trying to keep everyone chill, because this is a big deal. The Thurazaz tried to conquer the galaxy. It is the 4100s. The 1700s, the Thurazaz tried to conquer the galaxy. And in doing so, destroyed the lives of a lot of people. And those who survived were changelings and then shunned and hunted by other humans, and it sucks. So this is mass societal cultural trauma on a ridiculous scale, and people are like, maybe we shouldn't reopen con. But some people who are attending the convention still seem to be moving forward with whatever their plans are, as if there is no problem. For example, Cheiron is still having its late night Penthouse cocktail party tonight, as far as y'all know, because Holiday is now contracted to be their piano player. And I believe this is why Dune collected a rugby team's worth of cousins, of wolf-blooded from the Wolf Country cousins, to crash said party. So that party starts at 9.
They're a bit rough and tumble, but they're good folk.
Yeah, that's
Not the biggest on manners, though.
That party starts at 9. Right now it's about 7 p.m. So is there any, Pricely, you were busy, or you were not involved in the circumstances of the last few games because you were babysitting the cousins, but also they kept buying you drinks, and that was really nice. And they've kind of got this night. It's a very bro-y energy, but it's a very inclusive bro-y energy. For now, you are also a bro, because you are all
It's always
drinking.
good to be a bro.
It is.
It's always good to be a bro.
And these are bros of multiple genders, because this is a post-gender
Always.
society, because I say so.
Yeah. Fair enough.
That's why I collected cousins and not brothers.
Like that.
Yep.
So yeah, so the party starts in a couple hours. Are there any other things y'all are doing to prepare?
Well, I fulfilled my promise to Holiday and gave him the other set of iron knuckles now that we've gotten out of the Thurazaz. And I don't think showing up to a Cheiron party armed would give the best impression. So I believe I shall either go back to the office and get and see if I can store my out weapons there, or if I have to rent, as I say, rent a locker. That's what I want to say. Rent a locker in the hotel to store my weapons, so I don't show up armed.
They don't really rent out lockers at the hotel. Like, individual hotel rooms still have safes. But also,
Right.
mass transit is awesome in this town. So you can
Right.
easily just go back to the office in Old Town.
Or I can, rent a locker at the bus station.
Yeah, they're at the transit hubs. They do still have lockers and such there, and plenty of them are holding weapons and all kinds of other weird things, because this is Eden City. Yay!
Yeah. So I think I'll stash it at the transit hub to have them just a little more convenient than the office, but not taking them to the party because that sends the wrong, message.
Also,
and I mean,
with
just most of my weapons, not all of them.
Also, with the security that's starting to go up in the neighborhood, given recent happenings, you're not sure you'd be able to get back in. So
to Old Town, or to
get back into the convention center area.
Yeah.
Because they've already started cordoning off streets, just because people were spilling out of the Saal Convention Center, which is like the Javits Center, only 20 stories high. And currently the emergency services are... Oh, I see, you're out of focus. I'm like, what are you doing? Sorry.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to get my thing to focus.
My ADHD is on point this week, because I'm on vacation, and I am completely unmoored from reality. We'll see what that does to my GM skills.
Come on.
Fantastic. So yeah, you can easily find a locker because Eden City is very open carry, and you're merc. Well, you're merc, but you're also the mercenary union, so you're the team heavy.
Yep.
So yeah.
This one I'm going to get rid. This one I'm going to put away most of my weapons, not all of them. Just the really big and obvious ones. So the shotgun's going in there. The what's the big rifles going in there. These 2 sawed-offs are going in there. A couple other things are going in there.
Okay. One thing I will note, Holiday, while you have the cold iron on you, any benefits from your famine do not work.
Okay.
That is one of the things I remember of what cold iron does, because I played a changeling that did that on purpose for training purposes, in that let me put on my 200-pound hair and then go running anime style stamina training weirdness. Weird Ferrist. Anyway. So is Dune carrying any weapons or none at all?
It's several weapons.
Okay, just fewer than
knives, a couple of light handguns,
Yeah, this sort of standard.
Yeah.
For city life.
Yeah. But not loaded for bear.
Yeah. You've got, all weapons have safeties.
Right. Yeah, but you don't show up to a high class thing with a shotgun. Or if you do, it's a very nice shotgun.
True. It's an antique shotgun. Or a replica.
Yeah.
Or a gift.
Something fancy with jewels on it.
Woohoo.
Because those always make guns work better.
Solid gold, gold and silver bullets, not nearly as practical as you'd think, but people still do it.
Bullets, but
gold. That's an NWoD thing, and also a Cyberman thing.
Yeah,
mixing all my genres up now. Okay, is anyone else doing anything to pregame or create, set up more problem dominoes to fall over later?
I'm just gonna change into my good suit.
Yep.
And put on some clothes to blend in with this party and stock up on stimulants, because I think that will screw people up pretty bad.
Adderall, check.
Can guarantee people high on caffeine are way harder to manage than drunk people.
You're right.
So we're gonna blow that through the roof.
But once I've disarmed a bit, I'm gonna go and join my cousins at the bar.
It's always nice to have a side hustle. Okay.
All the side hustles.
So we're coming around to 8 o'clock, and party starts at 9. Pricely, you don't really know what's going on, and neither do your new bros. But there are more. The bar is definitely getting more packed, which is not unusual for the evening at a convention or even just the evening at a hotel bar. But pretty much everyone except your cluster of bros, of wolf bros, or wolf cousins.
Wolf cousins.
Everyone's ranging from depressed to sad to freaked out, and people are just being quiet drunks, and no one's giving you a hard time or anything, but you just notice you're reading, you're Pricely, you're reading the room kind of ambience, and people are really bummed out or freaked out about something. And you've heard that the convention is closed down and might not reopen again, but you're not really sure why. As far as anything officially is said, there was an emergency for which the convention center had to be evacuated, and all the Eden City emergency services were brought in, but you're not sure. It doesn't sound like it's a fire because you haven't heard any fire trucks.
Okay.
Also, there's a smell when a building in the big city is on fire.
Yeah, you can usually smell burning.
And they usually start evacuating other blocks around it because, air quality
Yeah.
problems.
I decided that Pricely got one single text from Klaus reading, and that's the story of how I came out of a coffee shop bathroom with 862 of my closest friends.
So you
No
got,
other context.
And
I
Pricely's
just
just
assume that she'll pick it up.
Pricely's just vibing and going, huh, okay.
yeah, so
That's
there's
a lot.
I mean, Price is probably a little buzzed by this point.
Yeah.
Oh, Pricely's vibing.
Yeah, there's one female cousin on the team who's still very much like a, built like a quarterback rugby player, with close cropped hair, but seems to present as female. She's looking at us like, everyone's in a mood. Like, why? Like, what's going on? Do you know?
Can I tap the nearest patron and be like, hey, do you know what's going on, buddy? Or the bar
Nearest
person.
non-rugby patron.
Nearest non-rugby patron or barkeep.
The barkeep also is kind of like, what?
Okay.
So the first couple patrons, you kind of like, hey, what's going on? They just kind of stare at you blankly and just sort of walk away like zombies, and it's a little weird. And you're like, okay, how drunk are they?
I'm only on what number and what? How can? Huh?
Well, the upside of the wolf cousins is their inclusive energy means that they have also been pacing themselves and encouraging you
Sure.
to pace yourself because they are stamina drinkers.
Safety first.
And they're like, yeah. But they don't
After
actually
drinks
want...
After drinks they bought you or water.
There is a time and a place for competitive drinking and drinking an enemy or, other person into a coma, but they like you. You're friends with their cousin. So
Yeah.
So everyone's, but they're experts at keeping a party going for 8 hours, starting at lunchtime. Yes. But the third person, they're actually and you can just see because you're a changeling, they are also a
Right.
changeling. They are some kind of
Okay.
fairest. So they look kind of elven, and to you, they look kind of elven and pretty and glowy, and they're just like, the rumor going around is and she sees that you're also a changeling, so she's just like, you might want to brace yourself. The rumor is there was a Thurzaz incursion at the con, or like sneaking around the con.
Oh shit.
So give it, and then you think, and then I'm trying to decide, do I need to give you a clarity check? Because for you, this is still just a rumor.
Okay. Yeah.
But
And I just roll a d10, right?
actually, let me bring up the morality chart.
Yeah. It's been a minute.
Why is, for fuck's sake, laptop, stop being such a drama queen. Damn it. I need to torture my players now.
All of the torture.
Yeah, I will say you don't have to make a roll yet.
Okay.
But you are kind of like feeling that like, did I meet them and not know it? Like, what was happening? What?
Yeah.
So, Pricely, like, you could decide how Pricely would respond to this, but the creature, and any time a changeling encounters the true fae, it is a possibility they are talking to their own keeper.
Ooh.
Is one of the problems. I'm not saying, it sucks. So that is just gonna kind of hit any changeling with a wave of sudden anxiety.
Yeah. I think she would like respond with a little anxiousness of that because of that, but also starting to connect dots between the message that she got from Klaus, going, "Oh, okay, this happened, so this happened, so that's how they ended up in a coffee shop with that many people." Possibly.
The fire marshal
You
does
might
not
know
say-
that the coffee shop is a known hedge gate because I was
Yeah.
told that was a known hedge gate when we came out of it, and
Okay.
I assume you have more encompassing knowledge of these things than I do.
One would
I did not specify
possibly,
which coffee shop bathroom, but like,
You just said a coffee shop bathroom.
you're only a little buzzed. You can probably connect the dots.
Yeah, connecting dots. Red string goes from port A to point B to point C.
Connected the 2 dots. You ain't connected shit. I've connected them.
Meme gif math.
Yes. I just appreciate the Ryan Bergara and Shane Madej quote.
I don't know this reference.
I only know the meme.
I'll send you the meme next time I see it.
Okay, this is why we have an in-game. This is why we have a Discord.
Yes.
Just for us so far. Someday we'll have fans on it. Maybe if how many fans do we have? I don't know.
Not if we were
Viewers,
trying-
do you want us to have a Discord for everyone? Because then we have to moderate it as a thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, so that's happened, or so you get an inkling that that might have just happened, and maybe your friends were in the middle of it.
Yeah.
So, do you tell that to the cousins?
I would think so, since Dune was off doing that to let them know, hey, here's what's going on. So then they can themselves prepare.
So they all kind of like, whoa, and they're all kind of like, like the cousin energy has taken not a nosedive, but like they've all kind of flat, like leveled out. They're like, whoa, we need to sit down.
Yeah.
That's if that's true. That's yikes.
Big yikes.
People are calling their other, cousins of cousins of cousins and friends and family who were supposed to be there. This is like checking in with people. Are you okay? Please respond. And yeah, they're
Does
all
Dune get any of those texts?
probably one or two. It's like, dude, were you what? Are you okay?
You could. You could.
Oi, are you alright?
I'm fine. It was not a good place.
It is like question mark, question mark, question mark. Okay, we'll talk about it. Yeah, let's talk about it later. Kind of
Yeah.
from a few people. Alright, so again, so inching closer to 9 p.m. Is there anything else anyone wants to do in preparation of shenanigans?
I mean, I'm joining up with the cousins before dropping stuff off and just going to the cousins. So
Oh,
it's
yeah.
fine.
And so by the time Dune gets there, they're all like, a couple of them are like, yo, cause what? What? What's going down at the Sal? What?
The convention is closed for today. They're going to try and clean it out. I don't know if it'll reopen, but it appears that Cheiron doesn't care about the price of human life and what might have happened if things had gone unchecked today, and they will be holding their party as if nothing was wrong.
Well, that's not unusual for corporate shites, but I mean, did they get all of the? Were people taken? Did someone bring them back?
I don't know if you could rightly call them taken, but we definitely got them all back. It was, in the end, a very glorious hunt.
And they're like, roar, like quietly now because they're talking about an actual big scary thing, not a rugby match. So they're like, and also, you know, the herd must not know.
Yeah.
Even though they are technically on the edge of herd themselves, there's that kind of like, okay, this is scary shit. We use our inside voice for scary shit in mixed company.
The pack turns inward, kind of
Mhm.
thing. So,
Because that's
yeah,
one of the other werewolf laws. The herd
So-
must not know.
being kind of quiet. I'll give them broad strokes outlines, like people were being trapped in a place, and we managed to get them all out. And also, it turns out that the place they were trapped in didn't like cold iron any more than than the hedge does. So it kind of
Roar.
wrecked the place.
Yeah. There's an affirmative like roar going on. So
But at this point, we probably commandeered one of the big tables and are just,
yeah.
crowded around that.
I mean, they're all paying for their drinks, so the bar, and they have not caused any brawling or otherwise craziness in this bar. So, and they've been tipping, so the bartender's like, awesome. Y'all
Right,
can
no, but I'm
stay.
saying they were probably, when they were partying, they were spread out across a couple tables, doing
Yeah.
silly stuff like trying to throw peanuts into each other's mouths or whatever. But now we've all gathered around one table. We're all here, The herd must not know.
It's like the great Muppet Caper when everyone's around the.
Yeah, gathering up around one table.
I need to watch
I
that.
think I'm gonna find out where everyone's gathering and show up at some point during this, but I'll kind of stay out of it because not my people, not necessarily my story, because I don't want to say something stupid and, make changelings freak out.
Klaus is still unsure of what the fuck just happened. Actually,
Yeah.
it's like,
I'm pretty sure I understand what the fuck just happened. I'm just really not sure how to talk about it.
that is fair. Because people in this system care about other people's triggers.
Yeah. Another reason to be quiet, but, the herd must not know, but also don't poke the changeling's buttons. It's not funny.
Yeah, let's not cause hundreds of millions of people to be immediately miserable or terrified or what have you.
Yeah.
Which is maybe the downside of having so many changelings in this one town, but
I'm an asshole. I'm not that big an asshole.
Yeah.
there's a time and a place to be a dick.
Yeah. And, I'm definitely going to give a much more thorough briefing to the Wolfblood Mafia later, but, these are just cousins, They get the broad strokes, they get the story, the kind of story that you tell, the kind of story you tell when you're drinking, making it look good, playing on the danger, playing up, your contribution, that kind of stuff. But nothing that would scare people,
I was gonna say something and I don't remember what it was. Sorry, my train of thought derailed again. But yeah, so yeah, y'all are so it brings down the mood a little bit, but the fact that, you're here and safe, so to speak, and you and your friends all got out and got other people out, that it's like, all right, we call this a win. Cool.
Yep.
Meanwhile, Holiday, I guess the rest of the Carve is hanging out at the bar waiting to go up at 9. Holiday, you've been asked to show up like 15 minutes early so you can set up and they can make sure you're dressed appropriately.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it's an elevator that... What happens is you get in the elevator saying what party you are here to be musician for. And
I mean, presumably you're not carrying your instrument with you.
basically the concierge, actually, I wouldn't be against a fold-up piano in this setting because future, but no, you're gonna be playing like they have a nice grand piano, very classic old-fashioned grand piano upstairs. Actually, no, it's when you get they call it a grand piano. When you get there, it's actually more of it is electronic, but it's meant to look like a grand piano because this isn't maybe the most luxurious hotel. This is still a new money hotel. But still, it's a pretty nice approximation for those that you've played before. But so what happens is you walk in and you were instructed to talk to the concierge about where you're working, and he basically gives you a card, which when you swipe it in on the usually you can't use the elevators if you don't have a room key. And then not all room keys open all floors. So they basically give you a special room key equivalent, which will take you directly up to the penthouse. It's kind of a combo, like, penthouse party room kind of
Penthouse
situation. Penthouse ballroom kind of thing. So it does feel very much like you're in a very luxurious large apartment. And you
Yeah,
suspect,
it's a villa.
yeah, some of the doors off to the side might actually lead to bedrooms and things like that. So the bathrooms are set up more like apartment or hotel room bathrooms. But it's just very, very luxurious, expensive carpeting, and or rather, actually, it's probably wood floors with expensive carpets on them, and there's a kitchenette, but it's mostly just seems to be set up with like buffet service kind of stuff. So no one's cooking, but someone set up food and catering.
Heating elements, yeah.
And there's a young guy kind of behind getting all the, and you can tell he's a wizened, and he's getting the food together, and he's like, "Oh, do you want me to make you up a plate before you start?"
Yeah, I'll play, and then I'll eat something.
Okay, do you want me to set anything aside for you?
What do you got?
And he's, there's like a crudité, kind of set up. There's, shrimp cocktail. There's kind of those kinds of buffet kind of style. Nothing that really requires heating. It's all kind of cold snack foods, but like expensive ones. So like charcuterie and
Yeah, I'll have-
cheeses.
Yes, the adult Lunchables.
But he says, he kind of points behind him where you see there's definitely like a portable like warming oven where he's like, and we've got like all like the puffs and the baked things and stuff like, and pates and canapé, and he points, actually canapé would be a refrigerator. There's the refrigerator, there's canopy, so those are going to be wandering around on trays later, but if there's anything you want to sample now, like,
just put me back a charcuterie board and I'll be fine.
Oh, sure, man. Cool. And he just makes note. You say hi to the other waiters, are also kind of like putting on their game faces, and everyone's kind of just chatting. It's like, "Oh, you're the piano guy. Oh, cool."
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, just, there's that one wizened guy, and you can also see that you're a changeling, although you seem a little muted for some reason. It's like, he apparently has not been informed as to the goings-on of the convention today, and is just focusing on his work.
I'm not going to share that information.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, no.
I'm going to do that guy a solid since he's putting aside food for me.
Yeah. There's definitely, you get a sense of a kind of natural camaraderie between the people who are working this party, as y'all are locals working for a megacorp who is not really well liked or respected in Idun City for one reason or another.
We are the townies, and this is the university crowd.
Yeah, basically.
But as long as I pick up the tab,
Yeah. So yeah, and there's a probably because there's a kitchen with a sink, there's also actually no, there would probably be like a separate wet bar also set up, but a little bit away from the kitchen. And he's just like, "Yeah, is there anything you want before we get started?"
I'll just quickly peruse the alcohol section and just like, I want one of those. Just point at a random bottle of expensive looking scotch.
Oh yeah. He's like, yeah, it is pretty much all top shelf everything here. Like there are some like expensive craft beers from systems you haven't heard of before. There's also a selection of wines, but there's also like top shelf single malt scotch and all that kind of fancy stuff. So he's like, "Oh yeah, and he's like, you just want 2 fingers of it, or?"
No, just give me the bottle and a glass. And
You know what? We've got 2 of them, sure. And he's like,
yeah,
it's not a huge bottle.
Yeah.
But it is a very fancy looking bottle and a very nice actual glass, not plastic made to look like glass. And
yeah, I'm just sitting them on the piano.
And he basically hands you like a small brandy sifter for tips.
Yeah. Is there an ashtray?
And he thinks for a minute. He's like, I'm not sure if we're allowed to smoke in here.
Well, that's a tragedy.
Yeah. I know there's vaping allowed. Yeah, I don't. And he actually starts looking around, and he's like, yeah, I don't see an ashtray. I mean, this,
We'll make do.
yeah. Megacorps keep saying they want to, make the. He gets kind of quiet. He's like, Megacorps keep saying they want to make the future better for everyone, but they can't give us, smoking that won't kill us.
Everything's going to kill us. It's just a matter of when and how much fun you're having.
True that, man. And he goes, he's, just starts setting up, doing his bar setup.
Yeah. And I'll sit down at the piano and practice, do a little bit of practice.
Yeah.
Refamiliarize myself with this piano, any quirks it has.
You definitely, I don't know if your character went to bug Cheiron at all today or during the convention, like some of your new friends.
No, I have no idea that there was a Cheiron bugging that occurred.
Yeah, you get so there's also a sense as you sit up by the piano where there's more like seating areas and, settees and couches and fancy looking chairs and all that. Is that you get a sense that you see the underlings that were staffing the Cheiron Corp, and you see that they've all still got their badges and everything. And it basically looks like the kids that were working basically the booth bunnies are taking a minute to just chill out for a second and just like catch their breaths and like steel themselves. They all seem very relaxed and casual.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, for a company-sponsored event.
Well, the cat's away, so the mice are playing.
You definitely do not see someone who you would consider authority. Like, one of the booth bunnies is sort of checking in with all the staff to make sure things are getting set up and there are no problems. And now that there are no problems, they're just gonna, like, for a minute. And you can tell, before actually seeing them or even hearing them, what you sense is that you're practicing your scales, and all the kids behind you suddenly all stop talking and sit up straight. And then you hear a door close, and
Dun 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 dun.
yeah.
Dun 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 dun.
Dun 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 dun. And you hear a voice behind you addressing the kids, or the underlings, like, well, I see everything is well in hand here. Have there been any problems with catering or staff? And like, no, Mix Frentic? No, everything's great. Everything is ready to go. And this person walks in about, 5 of 9, because they have people to do all this for them. But they are, just checking it out. All right. Well, things today went a little bit against plan. But that is not on myself or yourselves or anyone on this team. And rest assured, I have made sure that the director knows the circumstances and what was clearly beyond our control. So don't worry about a thing. And I will let everyone know if we are going back to work at Sol tomorrow. That is still up in the air. And they're all like, and then you get a chorus of, thank you, Mix Frantic. Thank you. All right. Great to hear. But I can't help but...
just to listen to it.
Yeah. But I can't help but think this gives us a little bit more to work with this evening. So, mingle, schmooze. If there's anyone you think would have a little bit more pull in this system, feel free to bring them to me. But when the director arrives, let me be the intermediary there. She will do as she wants, and we will let her. Understand? And everyone's like, yes, makes romantic. Not quite like a cult, but it's a little like, okay.
Like camp counselors, not quite cults, but
yeah.
it's well on the way.
You
You're
didn't
not
need to call
wrong.
Trix out like that.
Yeah, you didn't need to call me out like that. I'm the camp counselor of my friend group. I'm always ready with a song for any circumstance.
But yeah, and this if you look behind, you see a kind of non-gendered person, but they're wearing a dark charcoal skirt suit that's very form-fitting, very very much tailored looking. And they have just sort of they're wearing a skirt but non-gendered. Did we get a bit? What the and I die of shock
Oh
on stream. That is our first bit. Fadior gave us 5 bits. Oh, and it's a little rainbow flag. It's a pride flag. Yay!
Here for it.
Aw, thank you, Fadior. So that's how that works. Also, thank you for showing me that the things I installed on my thing work. Because I have no clue.
It's very entertaining because, like, the little widget, the little wine glass widget, if you look at it, it's now got 5 little pride flags dropped in there.
Yay! I know it had some already because I tested it out, but
I love that. I was wondering what that was for.
I love it.
it's a
If you
tip
drop,
jar.
if you give bits, you can put in custom. Why am I blurry again? You can put in custom pictures for it, but otherwise they'll just follow the generic Twitch.
Is that a custom bit, or is that one of Twitch's pride?
That's what Twitch's default bits.
Yeah.
There's like about a dozen of them, I think.
Aw, thanks, Fadior. Now, what were we doing? Okay,
You're describing a non-gendered individual in a charcoal skirt suit who was standing there like a camp counselor in front of a bunch of terrified underlings.
they're not necessarily terrified, but they are like, this is a person that you don't fuck around with. Because they like having jobs. Yeah, I'll say, Holiday, you don't get a sense, like, you've been in the military. You more get a sense of, this is not the overlord that they are afraid of, but, they're not gonna cause problems where they don't need to.
Yeah.
The minor domo as opposed to the major domo.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a lieutenant instead of a captain.
Mm-hmm. And you get a sense that so the underlings are all kind of getting their game faces on and buttoning up shirts and zipping up jackets and redoing
straightening ties,
straightening bow ties, and they definitely have kind of a pull. They are now in suits and ties and skirt suits and not the polos that they were wearing on the floor. And but not quite the tailored look that their superior officer is sporting. And they are just sort of, walking around. They basically do the same. They check on the catering, they check on the bartender, and then they kind of, they're doing a lot and come over. Well, hello. I was, yes, I understood, someone recommended we get a live musician at the last minute.
Why have a DJ when you can have a live performer?
Indeed. Well, we weren't aware that these premises had a piano until very recently, so thank you so much for filling in at the last minute.
Not a problem. Then I will play something.
Chris, check chat.
What am I playing?
Oh. Fadior, an orange-robed wizard called Perf shows up. Okay, we'll get there.
You can come with the cousins.
And you know, you're playing something and they're like, and they kind of look at you kind of askance in a weird way, and they're like they've satisfied their own curiosity about something, and then they just walk away. Yeah, they will recommend, like, yeah, sure, just light jazz, classical. I don't really believe in restricting musicians to strict don't play lists, but this is a, you know, gentle soiree, so mood music.
Okay.
Once the wolf blood show up, hit it with the ragtime.
I have a 13 on my performance check.
Awesome. Yeah, you are like, yes, Commander, and are just, you know, doing the light mood music, and it's pretty chill, and people start filtering in, so and you can definitely actually let me look at your sheet. You can get a moment to read the room before the chaos begins. Holiday, roll me. I guess this would be Wits socialize? Yeah, let's go with that. That makes sense in my head.
Uh, 13.
Okay, so you're playing things that are not for you super complicated. So you can kind of get a sense of, and there are people just hanging out all over the place. You know, drinking and hanging out by the piano, and people are leaving you tips already, and they're like, you know, $1, $5 tips.
Yeah.
And basically what you're hearing is there are people here from other corporations, but like local in-system ones. There are some people that sound like they're in the mining industry, but again, local, because there are no megacorps that really own any part of the system. There are several mining colonies, but no megacorps don't own them. They're, you know, localized things. You hear, you know, there are some game developers, not that one.
That would be good, because I would have to shoot him really hard in the
Yeah.
face.
None of these game devs are changelings, and they're all like kind of, you know, talking to various people about. So there are definitely people here who want to get bought out by Cheiron or another megacorp. There are people who are curious. There are people who are, the miners in particular seem like they were invited here rather than sought an invitation, but they're like, okay.
Free food, why not see what they want?
Yeah. And also there are some like local officials. There's like a councilman and his secretary. And there are a few political people around talking to, and you're hearing someone give them the spiel about how, oh, well, Cheiron Corp believes very much in working with the community it's in. So obviously we wouldn't be looking to build a factory for synthetic humans, and to be honest, some factions of Cheiron Corp are trying to maybe edge that more to the sidelines. So that
Does that sound like a lie?
Roll.
Please say subterfuge.
Yeah, that would be let's say manipulation subterfuge, even though you're reading someone else's manipulation.
Okay. Do I get any benefit for having 5 ranks of fast talking?
Does it give you any benefits for that?
I don't know, but I think I could spot a mark when I see one. Okay, well, let's see what.
I have to
20.
find
It's fine. I rolled a 20.
Okay, well, basically there is, you can tell the spiel is a spiel, you do get a sense that they are not interested in selling slaves here, because that's not what this community wants. Whether or not you're less convinced that the whole company is interested in not doing since any, like, that just no.
Yeah.
But at least in Idun System, it doesn't look like it doesn't sound like they're trying to change the laws, which is what a lot of people have speculated over the years, is what a lot of megacorps want to do, because that's what they do in most systems. They buy their way into the lawmaking process, and then, you know, suddenly slaves are legal again. Well, not suddenly, but... so, and he got lost trying to run away from death. Ha ha ha. So yeah, so I dare say at that point, the door kind of slams open, and a guy who does look dressed like Gandalf, only orange. And he's just like, and he just sort of runs through, and Mick's Frantic is just sort of like steepling their fingers and just sort of watches him go and is like, all right, this is happening. And it looks like he's running around, trying to hide somewhere. Like, he looks in your piano, he's like, and Frantic is just sort of, you know, motions to one of the underlings. Can you... What is that?
What time is it?
It is getting... What time were the bros gonna show up?
Between 30 and 45 minutes after party start.
Okay, we'll say it's about 9:30 now, so it's been a half hour.
So the bros are coming up the freight elevator that the hotel staff.
I will say with Holiday, you get a sense with your 20 that one of the things that Cheiron are talking to the mining people about is possibly more why they're here. Because it seems like they're interested in a local mineral that is found in the asteroid belt, and of course this document completely reset itself while I wasn't looking. Thank you, computer.
Love that.
Oh my god. There's a mineral called Norta 7 that is used, you would recognize it as something that's used in shipbuilding, but it's kind of rare. It doesn't really make it special, it's just not that commonly used because of its rarity, and there's like other things that can be used to make sturdier bulkheads and things. That's usually what it's used for. Okay. But it sounds like they're interested in taking over, or not taking, but you know, working with the local mining guilds.
They want in on the action.
Yeah, they want in on a mineral called Norta 7. So, yeah, it's kind of rare, but it's like not like super special rare. It's just not found in many places. So,
does it have any oddball military applications that I can remember?
Just shipbuilding, and it's pretty much only been used like mostly by local military because it is a very localized weird mineral.
Okay.
So it's like, you've heard about it? It's like, oh, building ships and building sturdy ships. But there's also like other stuff you can use for that is more plentiful and cheaper.
Okay.
So generally, like, local militaries will use it when like they don't have a government charter and it's just for local militia ships because it's there. So, and it's like, use what you got because we already got it. So yeah, at that point, Dune, tell me what happens with the bros.
So, I had gathered up my cousins and in the bar. This is 30 minutes ago or so. Yeah. So once 9 o'clock rolled around, I, stood up from the table and like, all right, it's time to get on the move. We've had our fun here, and now we must bring it to the corporations upstairs. They want to schmooze, and they want to bring their kind of business to our town. They want to turn our politicians into their own puppets. Well, we're going to go and turn their party into a real party, and then we'll see exactly how much business they get done then. Are you with me, cousins?
Yeah, oi, and there
All
that
right,
which is a yes.
pay your tabs if you haven't yet, and we're off.
All right. Yeah, it takes a few minutes because some people have tabs and have to go close them, and now the bar is a lot busier, though not really in a fun, busy way. The bartender's actually kind of sad that you're leaving because everyone else here is either depressed or in shock for some reason.
Yeah.
And by
We
this
were
time,
rowdies.
you've heard, there are a few like dealers and exhibition people, drowning their sorrows. Not because they've heard of the thing that happened, because like, but we lose money now. But what is the emergency? Why won't they say anything?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so
we haven't said anything.
So it takes a little bit, and so let me try to remember. You and Pricely bribed like a
Housekeeping
person
Yeah.
to get you up in the service elevator.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, they're around and they're just like, okay, and you paid them in favors already, I think.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
One universal favor.
alright.
One universal favor to sneak 40 or so half-drunk wolf bloods up the service elevator. Plus a
Basically,
mage
you
and a
see
training
that
joint.
they're wearing gloves. Like, just, kind of plain, like, leather gloves. Like, it's not quite cold enough out for them to wear it, but, not too weird. And then they basically just hand you a blank a swipe key so you can use the elevator and they don't have to be there. So it's like, I have no idea where they got that anonymous housekeeping card. It wasn't me because it doesn't have my prints on it.
Yeah.
Wise decision. I won't acknowledge it out loud, but give them kind of the nod, and then we'll head over to the elevator.
Yeah,
and
they do a a kick switch with their hand. I don't know. Anyway, but yeah,
what's a kick switch?
it's usually includes switching suitcases.
Oh,
in leverage.
Set it down. Kick
Yeah.
the case over. Pick it up. Okay, yeah, now I get it.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, but
and they managed to do it in a place where there is a blind spot between cameras because they know their hotel. And, universal favors are, gold standard in this weird economy where vampire boons are kind of one of the pillars of the economy. Because this is a really fun setting.
So, because it is the service elevator, I imagine it's a little larger than the regular elevators, and even...
Oh yeah, there's plenty of room for everyone, and it's like, oi, 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 oi! So, Holiday, you
Welcome to party now, boys! Or cousins.
Holiday, you're kind of towards, kind of far away from the front door, so you probably hear... After a while, you're playing, and you hear this kind of weird, out-of-place noise of a bunch of oi, 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 like, and you're like, is there, like, a football game going on? Like, downstairs? Like, what? And it's getting closer and closer, because that's, you're closer to the service area, or the service elevator exit.
I will play louder.
Good man!
Good reaction.
Yeah, actually, the lieutenant, as I guess we can call them, the company person, it kind of, you get a sense that they also heard that, and then they noticed you playing louder, and they're like, okay, fair play. And because they still just think that, is there a football game? Like, they're trying to talk to a councilman, and there is a noise, and they're like, well, good piano player. Well,
Good piano player, playing to cover it up.
Yes.
You sense they are approving of it, but that, the shouting and the football chanting, the rugby chants get louder and louder.
We've graduated to Welsh singing by this point, probably, because we're wolf bloods.
Actually, there's probably a derivative of the St. Crispin's Day speech, but for rugby players, and then you go into 4-part harmony Welsh singing. And it was like, what? Says the lieutenant. It's all part of the... we like a variety of musical forms in Cheiron. We like diversity.
I'll play along to the singing. I'll switch tunes in the middle.
And then the doors open, and suddenly the orange robe wizard is not the biggest problem at this point.
Yeah, there's basically been an underling trying to like, sir, can I help you? Sir, are you with, like, are you okay, sir? Do you need help? Like, and he's just like, and he's trying to break into cabinets. The wizened caterer looks rather annoyed because it's like, this is my kitchen. Get out.
Get out of my kitchen.
Whereas the corporate people are being a lot nicer. The wizened's just like, no.
Wizen's like, I'm a chef. I have so many knives. Get out of my kitchen.
I imagine he's like saying quickly, "I'm not here. Just pretend I'm not here."
Actually, yeah, because Holiday did get a 20 on one of his. No, that was a subterfuge check. I will say that you did get it. You did at one point when the orange guy is still running around, and one of the underlings is chasing them. Mix Frentics. I can't remember my own NPC names. Mix Frentics kind of leans to a second kid and is like, you don't hear exactly what they're saying, but you do hear the word mage. And you hear it said with authority rather than question.
Uh-oh.
So, yeah, so there's this guy's, and yeah, so now the Welsh singing comes in from the back door, so to speak, where there must be a service elevator or something, and
And then a bunch of cousins come just flooding into the place. Like, some of them homing on the bar, others of them homing on the food, and others of them are trying, bro up to whoever's closest and, try and get them to join in the singing.
Yeah, you see, so yeah, the bros come in, and the underlings are all kind of like, what the fuck is happening? But Mixed Frantic just kind of, like, considers it, and is like, they do not seem flustered. Or worried. They're just gonna go with the flow.
Dune's not the front of the pack, but he's more in the middle. He's one of the bros. He's one of the cousins,
Bros. They're probably all wearing their uniforms.
I mean,
And
not all wearing uniforms, but yeah, there's a certain amount of uniformity to them. Like,
and Frentic kind of like approaches, a few of the bros and is like, this isn't technically isn't exactly a private event, so by all means, have fun. And if you have any questions about Cheiron Corp, just let me know. Or any of our other Cheiron employees. Have a good time.
Yep.
And
So
then they kind of edge over to Holiday and they're like, okay, maybe play louder jazz.
Want me to pick this up a little bit?
If you want. I mean,
okay.
just go with it.
I can play louder.
So, Dune's gonna try and belly up to a council person with a Cheiron, whichever council person is currently being accosted by council people.
How
much? 25. Wow.
You rolled a 25 on your performance check?
Yes.
All right, yeah, you are going with it, and the rugby bros are like, hey, we know this song, and people are singing along, and now it kind of does feel more like a Welsh pub than a fancy soiree. But the thing is, the music works out so seamlessly that, so yeah, Dune, you're hanging out at the council, and actually some of the mining guild people are totally into it.
Yep. I've got cousins who I primed earlier to go to find the head people and try and, keep the corpse people away from them, essentially.
Yeah, actually, so the none of your cousins know these mining guild people, but you do notice there's sort of a sturdy looking woman who's still wearing like an evening gown, and you see kind of like a tattoo like on her, like on the back of her between her shoulders. That is definitely a tribal symbol. you maybe it looks a little esoteric, but Dune, you recognize like that woman's probably wolf-blooded or wolf-blood adjacent. Like she's not a werewolf because
Yeah,
there just aren't that many.
Yeah.
And so yeah, so she especially is like, yay, it's a real party now.
The real indicator is when she, takes a bottle, hits the top off on the bar and chugs it.
But so yeah, so Holiday, you're having a good time, and these rugby players tip pretty well, like not huge bills, but they're doing a pretty good job. They're putting in
They're
what they
doing
can.
better than the fancy megacorp types are because they know how hard it is in a gig economy.
Yeah, but with smaller bills because that's what they
Yeah.
got. So I guess both of you with this new environment give me wits socialize or wit subterfuge, whichever is higher for y'all.
Oh, yay.
Klaus, are you also there?
Yeah, I would have followed the group. I was at the bar when they left.
So
So
yeah,
is Presley, I believe, unless she stayed behind for some reason. They stayed behind for some reason.
it feels like a Christmas party in a Welsh pub. It's awesome.
I'm going for wit subterfuge because I actually have a dot in subterfuge as opposed to socializing, which I have none.
That doesn't do that. 16.
Okay.
I'm at 2 successes.
11, 2 successes.
Okay. So y'all notice, is Presley also in on rolling, or are they just
I would assume she's also there. Like she left with everyone.
Yeah, she's yeah. So you'll notice that the underlings are kind of like they're very much like, what the fuck do we do? But then you all see what McFrentic is doing, which is basically Dune, like you see the councilman is now talking to a rugby player and like, oh yeah, I actually follow that league. And Frentic is moving in on that conversation and also just almost absolutely without dropping a beat, goes in. And the councilman seems like he's now more comfortable talking to McFrentic in this context.
Alright,
Because some people are social atom bombs.
Alright, so
And so
I'm
they're
gonna find
doing great.
I'm gonna find my drunkest cousin, disengage as gracefully as I can from the council person I'm talking to, and I'm gonna go find my drunkest cousins.
But yeah, so you so if any of you are in proximity of Frentic, they are definitely talking. Oh yeah, we've definitely got a few sports teams on payroll, and we also make donations to children's leagues, and sports are just so important to just the community and the spirit of a city and a system, and just very much schmoozing. Like this person is an epic level schmoozer who has just used basically their legendary action to foil your plan and is now using it against you.
I'm gonna find my drunkest cousins
Yep.
and ask them to stay by Frantic. Tell her that she likes to sing songs. And then I'm going to text the Wolfblood Mafia that I need some backup and it had better be drunk.
Okay. So
I'm pretty sure by this hour I've got some more cousins that are drunk that weren't part of the plan to begin with, but I can get more. My hope is to basically fill the whole room and keep the corporate people talking to Wolfbloods only, if I can manage it.
Mm-hmm. All right, so yeah, now it's a roaring sports bar party, and so once the underlings see what their once the ensigns see what the lieutenant is doing, they're like, oh, okay, so we'll just pretend we'll just allow ourselves to actually have fun talking to people rather than the forced fun that we were doing before. Okay. And yeah, so, and a lot of the kids are singing with the rugby players, and they're all out of towners, so they're like, oh, what is the league like here? And like people are talking, and it's because people
a lot more friendly, but hopefully a lot less business going on. That's what I'm really here for, is to stop business. It can be as fun as we want it to be, but
They're definitely talking less.
Cheiron being in the system.
They are talking less business, but now they are being more ingratiating with the help of a cover party. And yeah.
Do any of the mining people wander by the piano?
Oh yeah, there's. I think that woman with the wolf blood tattoo is definitely like hanging out with y'all and like singing songs with the Welshman. She has a different accent, but you get a sense she might be Welsh adjacent.
When no one's paying attention to her or me, I will slip her a business card with a note that says, "If you need representation."
Yeah, she kind of like you see her demure. Like this is a woman. Like she's dressed up now, but you get a sense this is a tough lady. But she, very very subtly like nods to you as she takes your business card and like puts it in a purse. So you get a sense like she knows what's up. She's cool. Meanwhile, the orange wizard is now hiding under the piano, and there is someone and actually, yeah, so first tries to hide under the piano. And then a couple of the wolf bloods are like, "No, mate!" And they drag him out from under the piano, and they're like, "Yay!" And he's like, "Wait, okay, this is fun, but help, help, what, help!" And eventually, after a few minutes of that, the lady Wolfblood from before, who was the one who noticed the bar was quieter than it should be earlier, she's like, she starts sort of talking to him, and he just sort of looks really harried and like worried, and he's talking quietly, and it is now impossible to hear what they're saying under all of the singing and piano music. But Dune, you definitely get a sense that this guy's in trouble and is hiding, and you get a sense that your cousin's like not like making an oath or anything, but just sort of like pats him on the shoulder and is like, "Yeah," you get a sense of stick with us, man. Well, we're here to fuck shit up tonight.
I'll drift over to them, and I'm not subtle like Holiday. I'll just hand him a business card for a card, and it's like, if you need to run, we have packages available. If you need to escape your everyday life, there are packages available through our company. And I'll hand him the business card.
The car of
big
tourism.
Scary mercenary with the travel company.
And he's like, "Great, because I owe money to Amoros and I really need to get out of town. Here's Dune and no one else, because it's too loud." At that, though, Frentic notices this and kind of approaches Dune. "Oh, do you work in the tourism industry?"
I'm part of a company that works in the travel. I want to say travel district, but that's not the right. Yes, travel industry. Whatever. I can't. I was trying to stick a different word, but I missed it. Sorry.
Oh, that's fantastic. I understand that next year is going to be a big event year for Idun System, so I would like to set up some. Do you take corporate accounts?
I'm afraid I'm not one much for the running of the company. That particular honor goes to our esteemed leader and the front desk person, who I believe is not currently available as they are engaged in business elsewhere. However, I can give you a card for the company, and you can see what the boss will say.
Great. Well, what does and they take the card. What does Carve special? Do you specialize in local tourism, or do you work with other companies, or do you look to sell packages to other systems? Or I've heard there's a lot of natural landscape and retreats on this planet, which is rare for the Expanse.
I come from the countryside myself. It's a nice place if you've the right temperament for it. I didn't, so I came to the city.
Well, how does anyone end up in the city? Any city. But, great. So, yes, I will definitely... Oh, thank you, Voodoo Lukerensky, for 50 bits. People are giving us bits. Oh, their little heart fell into the tip jar. Yay! The widgets work! They work! I did something right!
Yep.
Widget delights me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it is rare to find just untouched landscape and wilderness and even just camping in the Expanse system. So, Idun System, if you can set us up, I would love to do a company retreat to one of the mountainside resorts that I've heard about. And it just sounds like Eden just sounds like Balder sounds like such a lovely planet. And just such an interesting balance of just urban and suburban and undeveloped, and it's just such a wonderful place. And I mean, we Cheiron doesn't seem to have the best track record for getting work here, but that doesn't mean we can't vacation.
As I said, the boss will know better. And as it stands, I don't know about what any kind of packages we have to the countryside. It's not my area of expertise.
Oh, what is your area of expertise?
The safety and security of all the people that we bring out on holiday. I make sure that they get there safely and back again as required.
Oh, fantastic. It's always better to do that in-house.
Indeed. So, out of character, I did text the Wolfblood Mafia for reinforcements, essentially.
Oh, yeah.
Whoever was drunk at the time.
Okay, we will get to that in a sec.
Yeah, I know.
Because
I just wanted to make sure that went into the record.
Okay. So, gonna write that down. Olaf the Orange.
I like how she's talking to the one person who can never take anybody to the countryside.
Well, technically you're from the Wolf Country, which is more the grasslands out to the coast.
Yeah.
There is a more mountainous region that's more northwest, which is very, like, pristine mountain regions and resorts, and it's very pretty, and it's, priced for anyone to go. Well, depending on the resort, there are those that are not just for the elite classes that, So this is a good place to be a tourist agency, to be honest. Which is part of why y'all have done so well here.
Yeah.
One of the reasons. Like, oh, so basically the main business is the side hustle. Fantastic. To be honest, it might be hard to muster more Wolfbloods, since it's already been known to the Wolfblood Mafia that there was a true Fae at con.
Yeah.
So people are kind of busy battening down the hatches, so to speak, in case some weird shit goes down. But,
Yeah.
there are a few people around, and...
Yeah, I mean, whoever was getting drunk at, the bars, I'm looking for basically the Wolfblood dealers and stuff who were kind of ousted and are drinking their sorrows away in the bar. They might as well come up here, If they want to talk minor business like that,
Okay.
Much better than kind of getting a foothold in this.
So it's past 8:30, so do we want to take our 10-minute break?
I would like to take a break.
Oh, Voodoo Lukerensky also gave me a GM +1.
Yes.
Thank you. Because I just happened to make those less expensive. Lol.
Rude.
So yeah, okay, so this is... I like a... Thank you. So, chat, we're gonna go on break for 10 minutes. And yeah, so stick around, get a drink, get a snack, use the bathroom, and come back in 10 minutes, and we will be prepared for more, megacorp foiling shenanigans as we all work out whatever angst we got over another cyberpunk game that isn't as fun as this one. I hesitated, like, should I be using the cyberpunk tag for my game posts right now? And I'm like, you know what, yes.
Ah, okay.
It's been a
I
week
haven't
for
actually
Cyberpunk.
played that game, so I'm like...
Yeah, don't. It's... I don't even play video games, and it sounds... Alright, but alright, so thank you again, chat, for those of you who have bought things with channel points. We I don't really know what to do with actual money, so I decided let's do character buy-ins and NPC buy-ins and +1s for players using channel points. And that was, ironically, the main reason I wanted to become affiliate, was so we could have people buy stuff for no additional money cost while they watch this game. So, if that's just how Twitch is, and it's weird. But yeah, so, going offline, and we will be back in 10 minutes. Bye! Okay, and... Hey chat, we're back, and we found a surprise vampire during our break. Woohoo! So yeah, again, this is Magic Fish Radio. The radio part is pending, but I promise I'll get there eventually. It's just, you know, an apocalypse is happening. This is Exit to Eden, A World of Darkness in Space, which is NWoD in space. 6,000 years in humanity's future, and humanity took its bullshit with them, and then 1,700 years into that first 6,000, the veil fell after the true Fae tried to conquer the new galaxy. It's a really fun setting. So all the Supernats are out, and now that there's no more sexism, racism, homophobia, etc., there's now a whole bunch of classism and a whole bunch of people hating on Supernats. But not an Idun System, because we're different.
Don't know, that's a good thing.
That's a good thing. Also, one of the differences of this Expanse system is that the megacorps don't have a foothold in it. They are not, you know, bankrolling elections or, you know, bribing lawmakers. And that's why, you know, with the Expanse Technological Conference, or Technology Conference, Hackercon, Cheiron and other megacorps are making a point of, let's wine and dine some local bigwigs and see if we can get footholds here now. Which is part of how our party finds us. Josh, are you okay? I think your camera fell down.
No, I just kicked my tripod. It was a bad plan. Don't kick your tripod.
Don't kick your tripod. Sad tripod. Anyway, so yeah, this is how our party, after somewhat defeating a true Fae entity that tried to kidnap people straight out of the con, like that was an adventure. Feel free to watch our earlier episodes. It's easier if you just start with this Hackercon plot, because I'm very happy with it, and also I miss cons. So I'm unabashedly dealing with that by running this part of the adventure at a con. But it's just given me such a great opportunity to introduce so many NPCs that our players wouldn't have come across otherwise. And that's going to get even more interesting in a few minutes. So yeah, so right now our players, our protagonists, Holiday is currently contracted to be their live piano player, because why not? And then Dune and the rest of them came in with a bunch of Dune's wolf-blooded cousins, because Eden City has a whole wolf-blood mafia going on. Basically turn it from an austere cocktail party soiree into like a Christmas party at a Welsh pub. But despite all their best intentions, while the corporate ensigns were a little like, oh shit, what is happening? The corporate lieutenant, a mix... Why do I keep...
Frantic.
A mix frantic. A company person. Just seem to take it in stride and use it as a way to ingratiate themselves towards more people in power. And there are some council persons, there's a bunch of mining guild people. And Holiday has noticed that while Cheiron's best known in this system for, oh, they sell synthetic humans, i.e. slaves. It sounds like, at least in Idun System, Cheiron is like, okay, that's not gonna happen. We're just not even gonna bother with that right now. They seem to be instead focusing more on the local mining guilds, and there are several mining colonies within Idun System. So, yeah, and none of those are currently owned or subsidiaries of megacorps. They're all local corporations, and... Oh, no. Oh, for...
You said it, and I'm just like, okay, I have to do this now.
You know, I said at the beginning of the game that my players couldn't use the channel points, but okay, fine.
You said we couldn't use them for the +1s.
We
Actually,
couldn't buy bonuses.
this works perfectly with one of the NPCs that's already going to come in, so our challenge accepted. This is what I'm
You're
doing.
laughing now.
I'm not laughing. Well, no, Merc is laughing. Oh, yes. So, yeah, so, Dune had, so Petruchio, if we can take a few minutes. So, while, your cohorts were dealing with the Trufe from the inside, Petruchio was basically ordering around the security staff who were like, what's going on? And you're like, stand back, I'm a Von True. And just started ordering people around and getting people organized and ordering, you know, getting emergency services involved because there are plenty of vampires with plenty of their fingers in local emergency services. And basically the entire, around 5 p.m., I think we said, the whole exhibition hall, the Sal Center, was evacuated.
Right.
And, city blocks are still cordoned off from traffic because, well, they suddenly had to make do with thousands of people exiting a 20-story tall Javits Center. And, so the Concom is very much like, they're hearing the rumors that there was a true, like, it hasn't gotten to the official media yet. But you know, and the emergency services know, so thus, and, you know, also y'all rescued 800 people.
Who know?
Some of whom went off on their own after exiting the hedge gate back into the real world. The changelings were also scooped up and taken to an equivalent of like a group therapy center and also kind of halfway house for changelings, basically, because there are thousands of changelings in this town, and the courts have their own system set up for new arrivals, shall we say.
The changelings being the ones who were the computer equipment?
Yes.
Or, okay.
Because it was a true fae, disguising itself as a video game, and actually using changelings to make its systems run.
Yep.
Because, you know, that's how the Thurzas do. Yay!
Why manufacture when you can make do?
But yeah, the emergency services is not keen on telling anyone that the true fae were kidnapping people directly out of a convention because, again, thousands of changelings live here. That would freak a lot of people out. So basically, Petruchio, from your point of view, the Concom is hearing the rumors and they're like, should we just cancel the convention? Because what you're hearing from most of the vendors, like, who are just regular vendors and individuals and corporations of one person, they're like, if it's a true fae thing, then, like, I'll take a monetary hit, but at least I'm not going to Arcadia. ... again. Depending on, you know, because some of them have already been there and it sucked. Others have not. And the Concom is like, yeah, true fae, that's bad. We should maybe just shut down the con, even if we're sure that one is out. Like, we don't know how to detect for these things. Like, if it hadn't been for, you know, Petruchio's friends getting in there by accident and then fighting their way back out, it's like, or rather, Petruchio, do you tell the Concom what happened?
Sure.
Okay, so they try to keep that on their own private listserv.
Yep, absolutely.
Because they're like, oh shit, really? And they're like, well then thank goodness you were there to game the game. And
so the good thing is there was one guy who was in service to one true fae who isn't here, and who had created a secondary true fae, and that true fae was dismantled.
More or less. And the
More
dev,
or less.
the
I
game
mean,
dev is in custody, so they're like, something happened, and then you rescued over 800 people, 20 of whom were changelings that used to be computer equipment.
yep.
And so, yeah, basically emergency services, now that 800 people have been rescued and are still basically being debriefed, 20 changelings are safe with mental health care professionals who are also changelings, because they take care of their own here. Basically, what EMS is doing is bracing for impact for when it does get out to the local media that this was a true Fae incursion.
Right. Can I make a roll, just a simple roll, for how well I did at capturing the trail of exactly what was going on in there, which is to say, downloading computer source and in doing some data analysis before people were able to turn the changelings back, and that data was lost. So you had computers running software. Those computers were changelings.
Yes.
But some of the data, both in terms of potentially forensic data and also data of exactly what they did, what the true Fae was running on, which is say the source code of the virtual life, was in there. It was basically going to be gone once the people turned back into changelings.
Okay.
That is an interesting question. What is the data retention rate on changelings that turn into computers?
Good question.
Make me a roll and get 5 successes, and we'll talk about the exact data later. Because I didn't write this down because you weren't supposed to be here today.
Sorry. And I'm not sorry I'm here today.
Yeah, that's fine.
Sure. I'll spend a willpower. Listen to my stats to see what the roll. 4 on the roll, so that's 7 plus all my bonuses. Can you look up my bonuses?
I did. No.
I can.
Oh wait.
Okay. Somebody else look up my bonuses. I get the +2 for the hacking specialty. I don't think I get 5 successes. I get more. I get a significant number of successes, but it's not 5.
Okay, so 4, and what were you rolling?
What?
What were you attribute discipline? Give me.
What? I was rolling hacking.
Hacking. Okay.
I was rolling so computer plus
Intelligence.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Plus 4 is 15.
Plus 3 is 17. Because I spent a willpower.
3, 17. Okay.
And
contacts
did you
hackers?
What?
Contacts hackers?
Sure, mine as well.
Did you? Yeah, especially since you have some Code Monkey friends now.
Yeah, they're Code Monkey friends. This is important.
So that's another +2. Can I give him my +1 from retweeting the thing for today?
No. Those are for yourself.
You said it was 17. Did you count the +2 for the specialty hacking?
Yes.
Okay.
That was 17 before contacts hackers, but I believe it only adds 1 more dot for 18.
If I only have 1 dot in contact hackers.
No, you have 3 dots. I thought you only spend 1 at a time, though. I don't know.
Yeah, you spend 1 at a time.
You spend 1 at a time? Okay.
For some strange reason, Petruchio now gets a +2 for his hacking rolls instead of a +1 for the specialty.
Right.
Okay.
For
so
some reason.
18 after contacts hackers. You could, I guess, would venture status add anything to it? I don't know.
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think 17 is a number of successes, but it is not 5.
18. You need 20 to be 5 successes.
Yep.
So.
All right. Well, what I will say you get with that is that it's interesting interacting with a firewall that can talk back to you. And Firewall does try to help you from that angle as well, but they just can't get it because after the first time you talk to them, the simple life got wise to, or virtual life got wise to it and started stopping them from saving themselves quite as effectively. Luckily, your friends brought cold iron with you. But yeah, so right now, so the Code Monkeys are definitely going over all that. The one thing, if you're utilizing the Code Monkeys, they also have the same data you do now.
Yep, I'm fine with that.
Okay.
I mean, hopefully none of them want to recreate the virtual life because that would be bad. But
Open source software.
But yeah, so you don't quite get all of the specific data you need, but you've never tried to hack through the hedge before. So
Yep.
that's interesting. And you've never had a firewall that was an AI or person before, and that was interesting. So, you know, if this ever happens again, you know, you'll know what you're looking at. Hashtag World of Darkness problems. NWoD problems. Anyway, so at the moment, Concom is definitely seriously considering shutting it down. The only people that seem to be obstinately whiny about it are the megacorps and other big groups in the exhibition hall who are like, we paid all this money. And we love money more than our lives, so true fae don't scare, or, you know, or actually a lot of people in the exhibition hall might have heard rumors, but haven't had it confirmed that, yeah, that was a true fae incursion.
So it sounds like the
Was
best
it an
thing to do
incursion,
is,
or
in fact, to close it down. But
Well, people were being
Yeah.
directly kidnapped out of the convention to serve the true
Yeah.
fae in Arcadia. So
I was mostly trying to use the word sessile in a sentence, so
Oh.
it didn't move. So like, I don't know how incursioning it was when people came to it. You know.
well, it's still 800 more people than usually just walk into a true fae's mouth.
There was a
during
direct-
convention.
there was a direct 2-hop portal to Arcadia. From your description of what happened.
Actually, it was one hop portal.
Okay. So wait, was the virtual life in Arcadia as well? It just was Arcadia and all on the computers as well, and then the simple life was super in Arcadia.
It was supposed by Firewall that this true fae's true name might be the Simple Life, but their title was Virtual Life. You're a little like, what? Like, as a Voncher, you're like, titles make sense to you, but you're like, oh, this is weird changing bullshit. Some of the changelings in the Code Monkeys are kind of like, oh shit. And they're currently trying to write up explanations for what these things mean for other people that are not changelings, because it's a community of hacktivists, and they also want the Thurzaz to not kidnap people.
That seems like a good plan.
So
Yes.
that's all buffering. And now we're at a party. Do you want to join your employees at this party that they have crashed?
Sure. Do I have an invitation?
Nope, but neither did they.
Well, that's
no,
true.
Holiday did, but the rest of them didn't. Also, you're a
Holiday
buffer.
didn't have an invitation. He's getting paid.
Yeah, also, basically there's an elevator that goes directly to this penthouse floor, but you are also a hacker, so if you don't, I'll just say you find a key card to get you up there, and it's fine.
I mean, also, I have Contacts Elite 3.
Yeah.
Good. Can I get a +1? I mean,
I'll just say you get there because it's easier for
yeah,
you.
it's fine.
So you arrive, and it looks like it was set up to be a fancy elite soiree with quiet music and schmoozing, but instead it is now more like the tempo of a Christmas party at a Welsh pub. And there are obvious sports ball people who all bear unmistakable resemblances to Dune in one way or another. Big, beefy rugby players and football players are just like singing, and some of the singing is actually quite nice, and you see that Holiday guy is at the piano. He's made some good tips. And there's a buffet set up in the kitchenette. There's a wet bar. There are you would recognize a lot of the underlings from the Cheiron booth are now schmoozing at this party, and also Mix Frentic, who was the higher up person that I'm not sure Petruchio spoke to directly because they didn't show up until the second day.
Yeah,
So
but
you
I think I
definitely have seen
saw
this person.
them, or did I know that they were coming? But I remember getting indicators that they were way more together than even the person that I tried to hypnotize.
Yes. Yes.
I remember taking a surreptitious picture and sending it out to the group chat.
Who's this asshole?
Going, look, I found the bigwig.
So yeah, so it's party. It seems like people are having fun. Whether or not Petruchio is also having fun is up to you.
That's another question.
But yeah, and this Mixed Frentic has basically taken the party atmosphere in stride and is now, using it to ingratiate themselves to many of these people. And when they can get them away from the footballers, now none of you can hear the conversations they're having.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Uh-oh. So...
Are they always getting them away in the same place?
No, they're just sort of Frentic is kind of circulating the room. The ensign, the lieutenant is circulating around the room, and the ensigns are more like making buddies with various council members and politicians and other elite rich people who are like, I would like to invest in corporate stuff in my own system, yeah. And yeah, the rich people, you get the feeling, have the least amount of overt power in this room. There's also a bunch of, like, mining guild people.
Yeah. I've put cousins on the council people, trying to keep the Cheiron people away from them.
But, yeah. So, lots of hobnobbing going around in this very loud party, and, Dune has called more Wolfblood cousins for more drunken belligerence, because unfortunately these cousins are all pacing themselves, so they're not nearly drunk enough yet. But, they've got top shelf liquor at the bar, and it's an open bar.
And they no longer have to pace themselves. This is the party.
This is the party.
Right.
So,
you know what?
Also, inexplicably, there's a guy who looks like Gandalf, but in orange. Also kind of sticking close to the Wolfbloods and looking really nervous.
Huh. So a couple of things. One, if I had obviously I had some sense this was going on, otherwise I wouldn't be here.
Yes,
I brought a few surreptitious bugs that I will try to put in the more quiet centers of the room. So maybe I can get some recordings later.
Okay.
It's a chaotic party.
Yeah, I mean, you can, give me a roll of... Let's say give me, int computers, and you can use your hacking specialty, even though this isn't exactly hacking, just to get a sense of how well these bugs are going to work in the current style of party.
Yep. My base on that is 10 or is 9 or 10. Someone else can see my character sheet.
I found
you
your
have,
character sheet. So int 4, computer 4, hacking 1. So that is a base of 9.
I thought you said my hacking is plus 2.
Okay, yep, you're right. 2 plus 2.
So 15.
Okay.
3 successes.
They're not gonna pick up much. It's rough in here. Like, there's a lot of noise going on. You can set them up for some good places, like maybe when the party dies down, you can get some after-hours stuff.
But there's nowhere really good to pick up where people would go to get a quiet conversation, even if they can't.
Yeah.
So you probably better start placing them on people rather than places. But
I mean,
yeah, but for that, I would want someone with reasonable pickpocketing skills.
You have someone with reasonable pickpocketing skills.
Sure, I will pass a few of them to Klaus.
Klaus is here, and Klaus is dealing.
Yeah,
Klaus is dealing to the peons.
I've come up with an evil plan of what exactly I'm dealing to the peons to.
No.
I don't actually know, but it's definitely some sort of stimulant to make them rowdy. and possibly misbehave and maybe reflect poorly on their business and mix frantic.
They're not really at the part where they're rowdy, but they definitely appreciate
there.
stimulants right now because they're like, these are people who have been working shifts on the convention floor for 2 days.
Yeah.
And now they were already having to hobnob at a party, and now it's a really loud party where they have to shout over people, and they're like, we're so low on energy.
But mix con brain and stimulants, and by the end of the night, someone's going to have made a mess.
Yeah, they're,
I
Anyway.
mean, with this many wolf bloods, there's gonna be a fight at some point.
Oh, probably.
Whether it's one I start or one somebody else starts, hopefully you can get one of the little company peons to start the fight. But
So at 10 p.m., people are in and out, wandering in and out of the party this whole time. At 10 p.m., the door opens and a singular figure walks in. And Mix Frantic immediately stops what they're doing, is probably talking to someone important, and beelines over to them. And is definitely just, like, very much deferring to them like they are important. They are... I wrote that she's female presenting, so she is wearing an interesting ensemble that is a very dark, almost black charcoal gray, and it's an interesting couture outfit that's a cross between like a pantsuit and like a kimono hakama kind of thing, where it's like the same lines of collar and wrapping, and there's a wide obi belt, and the trousers are wider, but not quite as poofy as some of those traditional wrapped outfits are. But this is definitely a person with a lot more money for much fancier clothes. And she's just, got close cropped brown hair, and it just looks kind of detached and somehow bored. Like, that's just their natural expression, is bored and detached.
Do I have any idea who this person could be?
now
Yeah, would I? I did research on who would be at this con.
At the con, yes. But this is kind of outside the con. But let me take a look at sheets and...
I've got an elite origin to draw on.
I would allow intelligence politics, but you will need 5 successes.
So roll a 10 or go home. I'll probably go home. Oh, that's an 8. Politics, I think, is 3. So that would be 17. But that is not 5 successes.
Okay. With the 17 still, you definitely get a sense this is a Cheiron person that is of even higher rank than the lieutenant.
Right.
Also, thank you, Vampiric Yoda, for gifting us some bits. Yay! And it was 5 little flags, so 5 little flags fell into the little glass, and the widget's working. Yay!
Yay!
Oh,
I'm going to
GM +1 for me. Yay!
I'm going to at this point queue up some of my drunker cousins to sing the good ship Venus. Now is the time for that, I think.
Yep, they do that.
I'm not singing it. It's not appropriate for Twitch, but I've queued some of my cousins to sing it. And that one is in English.
Yep, and the rich person is, they just sort of kind of saunter, they almost float, really, just something like, and a few of the wolf
Vampires wish they could glide like this.
yeah, some of your wolf-blooded cousins are just like kind of looking at them like they're a little like something like you two doing something about this person is just like raising the hairs on the back of your neck. Not in an angry way, but just like there's a slight chill, and you're like, what?
Yeah.
That's weird. And they just sort of, float through the room, and they kind of are just not even talking to people. And then they just sort of saunter, maybe to the restroom, maybe to one of the bedrooms in this penthouse or something, but they're just sort of not really dealing with this room right now. They're here. They were over it before they got here. And Mick's friend Tick is going back to the, aggro hobnobbing.
I've stationed the shanty singers close to that door as I can get them.
Yeah, you do that. And so
this place is clearly not soundproof by the fact that Holiday heard us coming up the service elevator.
This is a new money hotel, not an old money one.
So whoever that is gets to listen to songs about being horny for boats for several hours.
Okay, and now the players have 1 player plus 1 in their pool.
Very nice.
Thank you, Chad.
Please keep track of who uses it, or I'll try to keep track. Okay, so that's 1. All right. So the annoying thing is that the I can't figure out how to get the channel points to make noises so I know when they happen. So thank you, chat, for playing our game within a game. So that person has departed, and there is loud singing, and again that kind of quarterback lady who you remember from early in the bar and who was being nice to the wizard is kind of so dude, you know her from around. She is just as tough as nails as any other cousin, but she is more of a daughter of the moon. So while she has built herself, any person can be a mook, anyone can physically condition themselves and train themselves into being an ace rugby player. Her proclivities are less on the rage freak out monster side and more on the spirits are weird side. And she kind of comes over to you and she's like, did you see the weird lady walk in?
I did. That's why I've got Lilwyn and Mark and Liam over there singing the Good Ship Venus.
Okay, but there's something spirity about her.
Is it something that should concern us?
I mean,
I know I have a line to the werewolves if we need their help. The ones in the city aren't too much of assholes, and they know how to deal with a spirit.
Well, she doesn't look like a ridden. Like, if she was possessed, something would be wrong, there would be tells. So I don't know if it's something she has on her, or... And, you two are talking quietly, unlike everyone else in the corner. And because you both are trained for pub sings, you know how to listen. Also, you're both part werewolf, so, it's a thing. Yay, wolf blood mafia. It's like, so... I think maybe call them in on standby? I don't know what that is.
I will.
I've seen ridden, and they're screwed up. A spirit possesses a human, and bad things happen. And then you have to exorcise it.
Myself
it's a
as well.
whole mouse. It's a whole mess. Yes, you've seen it. That person is not a ridden. They're not under spiritual attack. So I don't... Maybe they have a fetish on them, or a talent. I don't... But they're Cheiron, and Cheiron, they've been, on the side of push all the Supernats out of your territory and replace them with technology that replaces Supernats, like plugins and such. Yeah, I don't...
And also, the gun that is very high in the city. If that's where it isn't, we'd see more signs of it. They wouldn't be happy here. But I can definitely get a hold of the pack.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you for telling me.
Yeah, because that's strange. That's just something. It might be nothing, but like I don't know. I don't deal in megacorps.
Me either. Hopefully we can keep it that way. Don't want their kind coming around here.
Well, they seem very intent on buying up some mining shares or something. I don't know that the guilds are really going for it, but
I'd still rather keep them out of the system.
indeed.
One of them was asking about Wolf Country.
Oh no, I was there for that conversation. She was asking about the mountains. Wolf Country is to the northeast of us. I know geography was never your strong suit, because it's fine.
Out of character, I was trying to plant the seed of we really don't want the corpse here kind of thing.
Yeah, she knows that.
Anyway, so...
But also, you weren't talking about Wolf Country.
Anyway, I'll walk over to, tip my hat and slide a hand into my pocket and walk, just out of sight towards the service elevator.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit out of the way.
Yeah.
And I'll take out one of the bat things that Auntie Batman gave me. And I'll, do I give it a message or do I just activate it and let it go? I forget.
You give it a message.
You give it a message. All right. So, I'm at corporate shindig, trying to keep their claws out of the system, and one of the Daughters of the Moon says that there's some sort of spirit or spiritual thing here, and requests that it be either looked into or taken care of as required, but neither of us can tell what it is exactly. And I'll activate the bat, and it'll fly away.
And just sort of goes through a window. It doesn't break it. It just,
Nope.
turns from a little plastic bat figurine into a spirit and goes through the window because fuck it, I'm a spirit. I don't need to worry about physics.
I'm not constrained by your physical boundaries.
And so, the next thing to happen is it's 10:30, and the door opens, and a tall man who just has Secret Service written all over, like just dark shades, slicked back hair, the boots, the suit, and the earpiece, and it's just like he says something into his earpiece. And so he kind of flanks the door, and then out of the open door, through the open door is a person that y'all don't have to make politics checks for because it's the mayor. Mayor Glax Serendipity Collins III, wearing a cow skull on his head. And what is a cross between a black suit and black robes. And he's just like, is this where the party is? Fantastic.
It certainly seems to be, sir.
Nice to meet you. And so first you recognize him, and then Holiday, you're still playing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I want you to make a performance check.
20.
20. Okay, so as you get this sensation, you can keep playing. So basically, think of it as the performance equivalent of a composure roll.
Okay.
Because what happens is this person just immediately starts walking around the room, shaking hands, saying hi to people, being very friendly. But each one of you, as they come within your purview, you get this strange sensation just like shudder through your body of a cross between like the idea of a cold breeze, nails on a chalkboard, and someone walking over your grave all smushed together. And you're just like, and you can, like, again, the corporate lieutenant is just nonplussed, just like, oh, the mayor's here. The ensigns are doing varying levels of not holding it together. What? Petruchio, you would already know this in general, but your beast recognizes his beast because he is a vampire.
Yep. Yes, I do.
And based on this effect, you dare say he's probably a Nosferatu.
Right. So this is usual. When he shows up.
So yeah, it's like, hello, how are you doing? It is fantastic to meet you. Are you a voting? Are you locally Idun System? Well, I hope you move here because it is amazing. This is the best place ever, and we have been working very hard to keep it that way. And you see the Nosferatu are the best. They're a bit different in NWoD. They look just fine. Well, I mean, also, what vampires have obfuscate, but he looks totally normal. He doesn't smell weird. He is the chill breeze that walks through the room with him, and just Nos are weird. So yeah, you all feel this as he's just shaking people's hands. He's like, oh, nice to meet you. Yes, I'm Mayor Collins. Yes, thank you. It's great. Remember, 21's an election year. Yeah. And just talking to people and just immediately making friends with everyone, or trying to, and does not seem all that surprised or fazed by the fact that some of the people look like they want to crawl out of their skin as they are shaking his hand. As he's giving off this effect and wearing a giant cow skull on his head. Now, where's the booze? Or do I have to sing for it? Because, wow, this is a great part. This is not what I expected from Cheiron Corp. This is awesome. Like, great. I am on board for this.
So is the mayor not known generally to be a vampire?
No, he's pretty open about it. But people who don't know that much about the various clans and their ish might not know why no one can stand to be in his physical presence. Petruchio, you would know just from your own contacts and context that he doesn't go to many in-person things. So it is kind of weird. Not as weird as if the Prince of the City has shown up.
No.
Because that would be like, it's the end times. Or the city's about to burn down. But this is like, he doesn't usually go to, and the scuttlebutt, because he's also a Carthian. So the Invictus love talking shit about him. So the Invictus opinion is that, he is very good at the wheeling and dealing, but the problem is that he's an Nos. So while he has ears everywhere, he doesn't actually go to that many in-person events because he's creepy as fuck.
Yep.
Yeah. But, he's very much a liberal mayor and very obviously pro rights of Supernats. He's not particularly been pro megacorp.
No.
And as a Carthian, he's very anti-slavery, but, they invited lots of people to their party and he showed up. That's an interesting choice. And he showed up with a giant cat, when he does show up to in-person events, he will be wearing some of the most ridiculous costumes or fashion styles. So, giant cow head.
Yeah, you wrote this goal, make the mayor look as ridiculous as others as you see him. It doesn't seem very hard.
So,
He's doing.
So, and he will go over and sing a bit with the singers around the piano, and half of them stop singing and have to move away to a wall or to get a stiff drink. So they're like, what? But some of the locals are like, oh, it's the mayor who's a vampire. Okay, and he's singing along with them. And
so does he in fact drink, or was that mostly just a line to imply that I like getting drunk just like the rest of you?
Some vampires can. Some feed off drunk people, and then there's Lacrima. but
Yep.
you're not sure if there's lacrima here. You haven't tried. I mean, as far as you can tell, you are the only vampire. Well, you were the only vampire at the party. So, did you go to the bar and ask for lacrima?
I most certainly did not.
Yeah, so, because your status is your business. But generally, only vampires drink that stuff. Because you can. But yeah, so yeah, the mayor is here, and he's having a great time, and Mix Frentic goes up to him and is just... My poor Latin brain can only think that vampires drink literal tears. Oh, is that what lacrima means?
Lacrima means tears.
Lacrima
in
means
Latin.
tears, yes.
Lacrimose, yeah.
You know, one of the big five covenants is Invictus, so it wouldn't surprise me at all that is probably on purpose. Yep.
Oh, I'm sure it is, but
Anyway, but yeah, so like, you know why some vampires can and can't drink alcohol, but other people don't necessarily know. Yeah, so Gale Frentic just kind of, walks, after he's done singing for a little bit, and he ends up at the bar and probably does, do you happen to have lacrima? And the bartender looks blankly at him and is like, actually does pull up what looks just sort of like a regular wine bottle, and is like, yes, Mr. Mayor. And, pours him a wine glass, and he's like, thank you very much, sir. And he tips him like a $50 bill, and it's just, it's like, gulp. Because, he's a voter. He can tell the staff is local. Because, how else do you get to be mayor in 3 different incarnations? And a vampire. And a Nosferatu. Anyway, so he's like... And so while he's at the bar, Mix Frentic, approaches like, Mr. Mayor, thank you so much for coming to our little get-together. I know things, it's like, hey, this is not at all what I expected from a Cheiron party. This is real kicking. This is fun. So, yeah, so why did you invite me to your party? And, yeah, and so they are having a conversation.
Yes, I will try to get close enough that I can at least hear their conversations. I'm curious. I'll tell the bartender I'm having what he's having.
And the bartender kind of cocks his head, and he, okay, and he pours another glass, and puts the bottle back on ice, and hands you a wine glass full of something that more or less looks like red wine.
Mm-hmm. I'll put a reasonably generous tip.
Dune, now that it's out, you can smell like it does smell coppery like blood, but it looks like wine, and it's not the consistency of blood. It's
right.
You may or may not have run into. I mean, so many Wolfbloods run bars in this town.
I spent 30 years as the bouncer for Saga. I know what it smells like. They stock it there.
Yeah, Saga doesn't have it all the time, but definitely for some parties / clients, yeah, you've come across this vampire booze.
The question is, do the cousins realize that the blood in the air is not the fight starting?
Let me check my notes. Okay, so he's just, speaking very loudly and openly because it's loud, and yeah, so Petruchia, are you listening in?
Oh yeah.
Okay, it's 9:47, so I can paraphrase. So yeah, Mary Lude shows up, and like Glax likes Collins likes costumes. Now it's a Mary Lude costume. In fact, that's several people at the bar because, clearly there are some Celtic influences in Wolf Country culture, are like, this is actually now that he's not standing right next to me, or now that they're not standing right next to me, it's actually kind of funny. I keep forgetting my own NPC is non-binary.
Why is it a cow skull and not a horse skull?
Oh, is it supposed to be a horse skull?
It's
Yeah,
Oh, I'm sorry.
Nuri's a horse skull on its head.
That's right. Okay, so it is a horse skull. They are wearing a
because
horse
Chris
skull on their
forgot for a moment. That's all.
Yeah, sorry. I'm just like, why is it a cow? Okay, I guess we're going for the circle of life here. I don't know.
So yeah, they are wearing a horse. They are very much wearing a Mary Lude costume, and no one knows why.
Right.
But
Perfect.
that's the mayor for you. Basically, no one listens to the conservatives in this town as long as he's running running the liberal ticket. I think I keep getting mixed up because the person that I made like the NPCs for the game were all non-binary, were not all non-gendered, so this was played by a male player at the LARP, and I'm keep getting confused. I'm like, no.
Fair.
So, but they, because I like the idea of a non-binary mayor,
There we
Sure.
go.
even if they're a creepy as fuck vampire. But yeah, so, and this person, the lieutenant does not seem at all fazed by whatever is creeping the shit out of everyone else. They are just, like, taking it in stride. And they're basically just giving... It's NB versus NB. They're basically just giving the mayor, like, the same spiel they've been giving all night. You know, Cheiron really isn't interested in changing the laws of an entire system just so it can sell one product, i.e. people. And they're actually a lot more interested in, since Idun System has such a... Actually, I'll just go to... Idun System has such an amazing healthcare system. Like, it is amazing. We would much rather use those techniques of enhancing human being and life experience and health, you know, in a place like this where we can, our doctors and our medical researchers could get a look at a wide range of patients regardless of their tax bracket, effectively. So
Yeah,
a
so
lot
human, I say as I get a drink from the bar beside them.
of... Yeah. And they completely ignore Dune. They're like, a lot of what we've developed in terms of synthetic humans could also go towards helping improving the life, health, and skills of regular people, help rehabilitate people who have had certain traumas, which the rumor is going around that some of that might have almost happened today. Can also help with a lot of fertility issues, hereditary genetic help in families. Like, we have a lot to offer, and we're more than happy to work within the parameters of law and order in the systems we find ourselves.
Are any of the VIPs changelings?
Not right now. There might have been a few in and out earlier, but
Okay.
yeah. Right now the main VIP is a vampire.
How's the mayor seems to be taking it?
The mayor is definitely, you know, letting them talk and, you know, drinking their lacrima while drinking their wine blood while yeah, just they're giving them, they're definitely giving them the Carthian method, which is, yeah, I'm gonna listen to them talk and give their ideas time in my ears space, and, you know, we'll see what goes on. You really can't get a read on the mayor. Like,
Yep.
they're just being patient. They're just patiently listening to this corporate representative who is, you know, giving them alcohol for free and has this really fun party going on.
If you can't drink their blood, dance their drink their booze, dance their music, and then vote against them, you don't belong in Eden City.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that, you know, Cheiron Corp had Lacrima available is like, well, it seems like they want to play ball here, and they are willing to learn the rules of ball here, as opposed to the rest of the Expanse. lieutenant, the corporate person is also, talking about one of Cheiron's mining subsidiaries called Vulcan Corp. Is looking to get a contract for the asteroid belt, which is in this system known as the Serpent. But because their company is just interested in some projects using Nortus 7 mineral, which is rare, but it's not so useful or special as to be like prized rare. It's just like, in this system, when they build ships, they usually use that as a mineral to help make the bulkheads and outer shells of spaceships a bit sturdier.
Mhm.
But, if you were in another system, you'd use another mineral that was more plentiful.
But apparently they're willing to go in here and buy up mining rights because they're interested in Order 7. So what do they know that we don't?
That is a question.
Either trying to buy up rights to the mining and then push the Miners Guild out, because that's what corporations do. They don't goddamn share.
Yeah, as you're thinking this, oh, thank you, Voodoo Luke Kerensky, also gave us more Vits. We got a robot and a party horn. Woohoo! And my widgets still work. Yay! I did something right. So yeah, Mayor Glax is like, oh, that is very interested. That it's very interesting. I haven't had Cheiron Cheiron comes and goes and tries to build their own interests in the system. I haven't heard them coming in for mining before, but yeah, you would. We do have a very strong mining union. A lot of the individual claims are owned by elite families, but if you were to buy them out, then you would still have to abide by, local laws and union practices. And my government is, and it's actually the entire system government is very pro-union. Because that's what works. I'm sorry, oh wait, sorry. In this system, we're very pro-union, because that's what works for us. And that's just worked for us for almost 2,000 years. So, I'm not saying I'd be against it, but we wouldn't allow you to undermine the health and safety of our system, for a few fancy new contracts. And they're like, oh, well, we understand. We're not looking to change the game. We're just want to show that we're willing to learn the new rules. And they give again the spiel of, well, there are some factions within Cheiron Corp that are very interested in getting away from synthetic humans as a commodity. It's just not working anymore. And those technological and human advancements can be put to much, much better uses that no one would find illegal. Just improvements to the health system and medicine and fertility counseling and genetic therapies. And yeah, Glax is just, or Collins is, letting them talk and definitely listening to them, but also, like, not giving them an inch.
Yep.
A consummate politician.
Must be why they keep getting reelected. And at this point, so what happens is, remember that scary lady in the really interesting couture kimono business suit?
Mm-hmm.
She kind of drifts back out of the room.
Out of the room she went into.
And, how many voices do I have to do? I can do it, it'll be fine. And Frentic, stops and says, oh, might I introduce you to Director Jones? And and Collins holds out their hand. He's like, "Oh, hello, Dr. Jones. I'm Mayor Collins. Nice to meet you." And holds out their hands. And this director doesn't seem fazed by any part of the situation. On the other hand, it looks like it takes them a minute to remember, oh, shaking hands is a thing. It's an interesting moment, to be sure. It's like, yes, Mix Mayor. It is very nice to meet you.
What the hell are they?
I'm close enough to give him a sniff.
They smell like a normal human to you. They don't smell like a changeling or a vampire or a werewolf.
Nothing strange in their person?
No, you definitely get that kind of dissociated raising the hackles feeling, like, but you can't quite put your finger on it. Also, they're standing right next to Mayor Collins, so they're kind of both hitting you, and it's like, ugh. But you can smell they're not a vampire, or she's not a vampire.
Yeah.
So, I understand that the convention. I'm glad we got a chance to meet before the convention might be cancelled. And Glax is like, yes, there was an emergency situation. Emergency services we have the best, I think, in the Expanse. So they're handling it very well. But it may be safest for everyone that we just close the convention center until we're sure that this problem is taken care of. And the director is sort of, well, I suppose, I mean, Cheiron Corp has developed some technologies for detecting, what shall we say, entities from other dimensions that may be of some use in Idun System. Is this a common problem here? Oh, no, I don't think I've ever seen oh, wait, you know what's happening? Okay, yeah. So you've heard the rumors, I take. It's like, yes, most disturbing. I've also heard that everyone involved was rescued. Like, yes, we have the best emergency. Eden City is just a great place to be. Like, indeed. We have...
Or let the mayor take credits.
Yep. Well, they're the mayor. That's what they do.
Uh-huh.
I'm not here to contradict them.
I'm going to switch up the music a little bit and play something that might trigger a reaction from Director Jones.
Okay, what exactly?
Lullaby. Something that I would have played when I was younger for my kids.
They seem completely unfazed by it.
Oh, good.
Glax kind of, I just like that their name. Collins looks up and is like, huh, that's an interesting, okay.
Yeah.
The mayor seems to notice. The two corporate drones don't seem to. They're just continuing their spiel, but it is easier to hear them now. So the only notice that that Director Jones gives is that they start talking a bit more quietly.
I will go up and say, well, actually, in this case, the effort was largely a citizen-driven effort, but we were very well supported by city services. I don't say which city services.
Oh yes, hello. I'm and you get a brief beat where Colin, you get a sense of a silent nod of, hi, other vampire. I am also a vampire, which is just like an imperceptible nod. And he's like, oh, hello. Yep. See, we have the best citizens in Idun System. It is a fantastic place. Yep. And we have fully trained emergency services that are great at not using force first on our own citizens, and it's fantastic here. But yes, so, here we take care of our own in our system, and it's great. And Jen's like, oh, that's wonderful to hear, especially if we do ever manage to set up a chapter here, which is still our goal, because you can't not expand market share. That's just not how business works. We are developing. So far, we have a method of detecting a certain kind of creature known as a fetch. And Collins is just kind of nodding, and the same as they were 5 minutes ago. We are hoping with more implementation of this technology that eventually we will be able to detect bigger fish of the same genus, let's say. Oh, that's very interesting. Well, I mean, the entire galaxy would be more than happy to purchase that kind of technology once it's available. And yeah, you get the distinct sense that Collins is not... Collins, is telling the... Yeah, true, but, like, even then, it's like... actually, Petruchio, roll, Petruchio, roll me... let's say... Wits Politics.
Sure.
Yeah, that's fine.
Politics is on the sheet somewhere. Oh, there it is.
Inagata Devita. Yeah, the lullaby.
13.
Okay. You get a sense that the mayor is hesitant to go with their usual spiel of just smile and nod and say that's very nice. You get a sense that they know what happened today, and that yes, this pitch is giving them slight pause to reflect.
Yep.
They're not buying it, but they are a little
They
bit
might
tempted.
buy it.
Well, they're not buying
Yep.
it right now, but they're a little tempted. They're, closing the convention is not necessarily skin off their nose. Or maybe it is, you don't know. But in general, like, there was a Thurzaz incursion in our city, and these people claim that they're trying to find a way to detect and stop those.
Which means first finding them.
Yeah. And they're like, well, I would be more than happy if you have any schematics or specs that you can send them to my office and we will look them over. And there's many proper channels for doing that. But I have to ask, at what point does detecting the big fish of a genus move on to detect all the fish in that genus? And it's like, I don't know what you mean. And the director sort of stares at them blankly and is like, excuse me? Well,
I think what the mayor's asking is, are you building a detector for certain enemies, or will your detector also eventually be able to detect changelings?
oh, well, that technology is already well established. We, Cheiron Corp has sold supernatural detectors to many governments and many security divisions and many emergency services, municipal and private. And that is very common technology, especially in the core systems. Yes, but here we believe in certain personal freedoms. And I'd like to see the specs of keeping people's personal data private while also being able to point out dangers. I mean, there's just some things I don't think my city will go for. And I'm not sure I would either. It's like, understood. Not all technologies are for all situations or peoples. But we will send you some of the technical specs. And feel free to direct any questions you have to my office, and perhaps we can do business. And he's like, I'm sure there will be business, thank you. And they kind of go back to hobnobbing and being jovial.
I'll back off at that point, but
What's the atmosphere in the rest of the room looking like right now?
Well, I don't know. So we've changed to holiday. So right now it seems like a lot of the the director does make one. I could overnight something. I mean, if the incursion included any fetches that have not been discovered. So, yeah, I think we've got that. I think it's gonna be fine. I think, thank you. But I don't think that's gonna be necessary. Thanks. Alright, and they actually and they just just sort of quietly as the mayor kind of goes back to hobnobbing. Yeah, so the music has changed, so the rugby players are kind of starting to, because it's also after 10, the rugby players are kind of starting to get a little tired drunk rather than belligerent drunk. So because the music just got a little bit sleepier. But generally people are jovial, more so where the mayor is not. But some people are more able to deal with it than others. And it's just kind of a convivial party.
So,
Oh, 10
did I ever get anything back from Anti-Batman?
You do get an actual bat spirit kind of, or actually no, it's another little plastic bat flutters back. Is like, I have eyes on the perimeter, on the next rooftop. Don't worry, keeping an eye on things.
I'll tuck the bat away.
Yeah, they're being Batman.
Oh yeah, very much. But
So yeah, at this point, so yeah, the party's actually starting to wind down a bit, unless anyone else has any more ideas.
we're after 10,
I mean,
We're discussing ideas, but this will go a while.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping we continue next time because I really was hoping that Trixie could get one of the interns to start a fight.
Okay, we can do that. Oh, we can pick up with this next week.
Yep.
I think that's where we pick up next week.
Well, next week is the holiday.
Yeah,
Right.
so
Right, I will not be here.
2 weeks from now.
Okay. Yeah, we can do. I'm thinking of doing a different, doing a one shot of some kind on the 26th. What that ends up being, I'm not sure yet, because I am
Probably be around then.
Yeah. But I think we all are planning on. Are we all up for playing on the 26th?
Should be.
Not me. My family's going out
Well,
to pick up flights.
As far as I know, I'm available.
Okay. But yeah, so we'll probably do a one shot next week, as we are wont to do. I would love to run a game that unfortunately requires a lot of dice trading between players, so I'm not sure how to set it up on Tabletop Simulator, but I'm gonna see if I can figure it out. But I'm on at the beginning of a 3-week vacation, and I'm unmoored from reality right now. Not necessarily in the way that I get gaming stuff done, but if all else fails, there's always Demon Hunters. So yes, chat, thank you for hanging out with us today. I hope we were entertaining and silly as fun as everyone needs right now. Thank you for the bits, which I was not expecting. And thank you also for playing our channel points game. I'm not sure if you can get channel points from rewatching VODs. Thoughts, anyone? I don't know. Or
I
is
have no idea.
if you can only accrue them from live stuff, then maybe we will try a crafty stream sometime next week or the week after or something. Like, we'll see. Like I said, I'm off for 3 weeks. I don't have to worry about my day job. Haha, I can stream whenever I want. And I have the stream key. Well, so does Dracus, but multiple people have the stream key. We can do funny stuff. And then people can watch live streams and accrue channel points for the games. But yeah, this is Exit to Eden, NWoD in space, where there are megacorp shenanigans going on at a nerd convention that was crashed by the True Fae, and it's what the F. So, I'm the GM, Ms. Chrysala, and that's pretty much my screen name on Twitch, on Discord, on all the social medias. So yeah, and if you're talking to us on Magic Fish Radio on Twitter, that's probably still me. So yeah, follow us, and we will keep you appraised of what we're up to. But thank you all for hanging out with us, and thank you everyone who followed us so we could finally get to affiliate, as we've been streaming since May, and now we could finally use channel points. Because I'm the only streamer to ever reach for affiliate because all I wanted was the channel points. I have no idea what to do with the bits. I just don't. I appreciate them and we'll figure it out. But, not to look a tip in the mouth. Thank you so much for being generous during this holiday season in the middle of an apocalypse. But yeah, we did this for channel points, so people could have a free thing to play that is no additional cost in the middle of an apocalypse. And yeah, that's us. I'm rambling. So, and now everyone's outros. So, Pricely, who are you when you're at home?
Hello, I am Trix. If you want to see some pottery, I have artsy_nerdling on Instagram. I've been working on stickers also, so there's a link to my Redbubble there also. So yeah, lots of arts and crafts.
Okay, clockwise. Petruchio, who are you when you're at home?
I'm Josh, or Neme, M-N-E-M-E, various places across the internet. And you can find me on a variety of places, although generally not in ways where I'm trying to entertain the public that much.
Yeah, I'm the weirdo friend that streams. Woohoo! Dune, who are you when you're at home?
I'm Merc. I play Dune the Wolfblood. I'm Mercworky on Discord and in a couple of other places. My main social media is Tumblr because I got on there way back, like before the Mish Apocalypse, and I never left. I didn't get purged in the porn ban, so I'm still there. There was a massive purge 2 years ago. Anyway, but it's a trash blog full of garbage, so I don't advertise it.
Okay. Holiday, who are you when you're not playing piano?
I am at Once and Future Doctor on Twitter. You can generally find everything else from there.
Ooh. And Klaus, who are you when you're not selling Adderall to corporate drones?
Oh,
Everyone needs a side
there's
hustle.
a time when I'm not doing that. Just kidding. I do not do that. I'm Dracus, and I don't really do anything when I'm at home. You can find me on Instagram or Discord as actual Dracus, like I am in our chat here. Otherwise,
Woohoo! All right. So thank you, players, for playing and continuing along with me in this weird setting that is just a mishmash of weird factoids in my head at this point. I hope you're all still having fun. I am, I think. Where am I? Why am I in this handbasket? But yeah, I should have been looking for someone to raid while we were talking. Not a lot of people up tonight, because that was one of the fun parts of streaming randomly on a Thursday evening was everyone was streaming, so we could just like
Looks
raid.
like World of Darkness is streaming. Vampire Holiday Marathon for Direct Relief COVID-19.
Oh, that'd be nice. Okay. Is it just World of Darkness one word?
Yeah, I typed in the chat.
Okay. All right. So everyone, get ready to raid World of Darkness because they're doing a charity. Maybe we'll do a charity stream someday. That I would like to do. Okay. So yeah. Happy holidays, chat friends. I hope you're all doing well considering the real life apocalypse. And if you need some pleasant nerdy distractions, check out our VODs, check out our YouTube videos. And you know, we'll see you all here next week. Thank you all so much for helping us build a weird game performance community thingy. Because this is fun and this is what's keeping me alive in the middle of an apocalypse. And yeah, so stand by for raid. Raid. Almost there. So close. Okay. Bye, guys. Bye.